And now to my final topic. The Akwa Ibom state government has sponsored 39 top-performing secondary school students from rural communities on an educational trip to London. This initiative is not only a celebration of academic excellence, but also a strategic investment in the future economic prosperity of the state. Selected through a rigorous examination process, the purpose of this trip is to expose these intelligent yet underprivileged students to the vast opportunities that exist in the world, viewed through the lens of one of the most dynamic cities, the British capital. Honourable Commissioner Comrade Ini Ememobong, thank you so much for joining me in the Channel's Business Global studio. I've got to say, slightly disappointed that you didn't bring the students along with you. Although we'll take an Honourable Commissioner, but I'm so excited about this story because I always root for the underdog. And, you know, if you're a young person from a rural community coming to London, it's not just about being in London, but it's about soaking up all of those experiences and knowing that you can take them back home and it can trickle down to those that matter. Talk to me about what inspired this particular administration, your governor in Akwa Ibom State, to sponsor this educational trip to London?
It's both new and old. And I would say that you recall that in 1929, what is now Akwa Ibom was the Ibibio State Union. And they were the first people in Nigeria to send people abroad to study. Yes, so they called them the Ibibio Mechanics.
Gosh, I'm sure we're going to have a lot of our viewers fact-checking that.
Yeah, no, but it's there. It's there. That's how, and the three governors before him have had relationships with those who went. Obong Ata's father was there. Chief Akwa, the Senate President, his grand-uncle was there. And Udom Emmanuel's wife, her grandfather was part of it.
So it's part of the fabric.
Yeah. So Udo Udoma, Senator Udo Udoma, his father was there. So they sent people and they called them the merchants of light. People have always been forward-thinking because to the Akwa Ibom person, education is the road to the future. It's the only expressway that can lead you to where you want to go to. They may not have money. You can find parents who don't have money, but they'll kill themselves to have their children go to school. So this particular governor, incidentally, had represented Nigeria when he was in secondary school abroad. So when he visited London for the London Political Summit and he had a meeting with the mayor of Southwark, Situ then, and so Situ made a lot of offers. Had he said to Situ, no, I'll take you up on the education exchange. And so since October, he's been working on it to make sure that children from local communities, intelligent children, because that's it. Our children can come to London and they see it as holiday. The children, when they landed, they didn't see it as holiday. They landed in Terminal 2, and the first thing that happened to them, they looked around. I was just watching them. They didn't want to leave. I told them, this is not where we have to stay. Can we just stay here?
So don't start crying at this time of the day. Quite emotional, but it meant so much.
Remember that these are children from public schools in rural areas. So, for example, Uyo local government, that's the headquarters of Akwa Ibom.
I hope we can show some of these pictures.
Yeah, sure. I'll make them available to you. So Uyo is the capital, but there is the urban part of Uyo. No, we're going to the rural parts of Uyo. Yes. So the three best students from the three schools in rural areas from the penultimate exam were chosen. So that way no one had an opportunity to input anything. So we choose the three best from three rural schools, from the penultimate exams, and we brought all of them to you to write an examination.
Absolutely.
So the best, so one per local government area. So you have 39, we have 31 local government areas, one per local government area, and others, the other 8 now formed, and that's how you have the delegation.
Absolutely, and this is, of course, Honourable Commissioner, not just about getting a hot chocolate or a mocha in Pret, or, you know, staring at some of the scenes on your way from Heathrow. This is about a much broader initiative, isn't it? It's about the economic prosperity of Akwa Ibom and also Nigeria. Talk to me about the thinking behind that.
Yeah, the philosophical underpinning behind this is the fact that when you believe that education can take you from a rural place and put you in London, then you can know that education can put a man in the moon. And immediately you have that belief that education put a man in the moon, education put the plane in the sky and brings it down at its will, then you begin to know the power of education. reading culture is declining, and the governor is using this as an exemplar to tell young people. He's investing in education. Like the Arise You See Me Way is an acronym about agriculture, rural development, infrastructure, security, and education. So education is one of the 5 pillars that the Umoino administration rests upon. And so he's doing infrastructure. He's about to do employment of teachers. He's building model schools and houses for head teachers in primary level, not secondary. So if you invest in infrastructure, you invest in staffing. The next thing is about the students. So if the students are laissez-faire, there's absolutely nothing you're going to do about it, Olayinka. There's absolutely nothing. So, and there's a missing link, the incentivization of students to study. Scholarships are no longer there.
Jobs.
Jobs are no longer there. So people know that if they become thugs, they get money faster. If they do commerce, they go to the market, they get money faster. Or skits, yeah. And all manner of themes in those skits, they get money faster. So there's no incentivization of education, either in the process while you're in the mix or out of the process when you get out. So what is Umoino doing? He's funding scholarships. He's also paying school fees for people living with disabilities. He's paying bursary, but that is for everyone. But which one is that which speaks to intelligence, which is why he's encouraging the students. So as they come to London, they're going to be going to Imperial College. They're going to be going to the University of Greenwich. They're going to have tester sessions at Coventry University in Dagenham, their Dagenham campus. And they're going to have a view of what university life will be. Now, they are now ambassadors. Remember, they are all from local government areas. The children back home who didn't make it are firing on all cylinders to make it the next time. So what this does is that it's just an exemplar. As we speak, other countries are saying, oh, we like what you've done. We had a meeting in the US, and some states in the US said, look, we can partner with you. This is what we've been looking for, collaboration at the level of the young people. Because without young people collaborating, the adults would always fight. Immediately the young people get in the mix of that fight, then it becomes a generational issue.
I've got to tell you, Honourable Commissioner, it's so your excitement is palpable and infectious. I'm also really excited, and I hope you are expanding it, because 39 is just not enough. Yeah. Although we know 39 is probably going to lead to 390 or 3,900, because of course it's going to trickle back when they get home. I've got to tell you, of course, we're recording this in London. I'm part of the diaspora, slightly scared about the Jakba syndrome, because as you said, they didn't even want to leave Heathrow, talk less about, sitting in a really nice atmosphere in Imperial College, seeing the opportunities here. How are you going to keep them back home? Because the brain drain is serious. It's a critical issue. Yes, we want people to have the most amazing opportunities, but we also want the best nurses in Nigeria, the best teachers, the best engineers. We want to send a Nigerian to the moon from Nigeria, not with wearing an American flag.
You see, the truth is about critical mass. If we have all our doctors being first grade, then you won't worry about people leaving and coming back. So it will mean every doctor you find is good. So let us concentrate on the critical mass theory. Immediately, majority of our people are doing well. It doesn't matter where they go to. There would always be mobility of labor, mobility of services, mobility of intellect. My father schooled in the US, but he rejected offers in the US and came back to Akwa Ibom.
That's rare, though, I presume.
No, but it wasn't rare. In Akwa Ibom, it's not rare. There are loads of people in Akwa Ibom who went to school in the UK. US. It was a sense of patriotism. It calls to question the Nigerian question. What's the Nigerian dream? Immediately we're able to define the Nigerian dream, then people can buy into that dream. And anyway they say, no, I'd rather go back to my country than stay here. Yeah. And that is what we're putting in them. We're telling them that, look, from your villages, the governor has brought you here. You don't need to run. You don't need to go do menial jobs. When you can come back to the United Kingdom legally, either to go to school in any of these schools we're advertising for you, or we're making them see you, or you can come back. You can be a consultant. I know a lot of people who are consultants.
Virtually.
In Nigeria. Yeah, living in Nigeria and working everywhere.
Absolutely.
So, truth is, look at the time it took me to get here. If it was in New York, I'll just drive to you. There are things there are so many things that people don't know about living abroad. It's just the nice things. Oh, the currency is bigger and all that. But at the end of the day, you see, when you sit down and you see, there's a study that said that some countries are structurally racist. And like Chimamanda Adichie said, she didn't know she was black until she went to the US. So there are some themes that come with immigration that people are not told in the full form. And therefore, do you really wish to experience those things? I had a friend who came in from one of the European cities the other day and said, look, till this date, you still enter the bus, a public transport, and someone stands up because you've sat there.
Yeah.
That never happens in where you come from. And therefore, there's a sense of pride when you're in Nigeria. When you land Lagos, you just change. Even this, your Igbo grammatica, you don't change. You understand? So by the time you land where you know it's home, irrespective if you say originally from, look, when you're home, and there's no place like home. And you would always be a second-class citizen everywhere else, irrespective of your contributions to that place.
Goodness me, I wasn't expecting an educational lesson from you today, but I find myself nodding sporadically to everything you're saying. Really important topics, Honourable Commissioner. We're running out of time, but the change makers do listen and they watch. They're watching now. How is this going to get to federal level? When are we going to start seeing side discussions about the economy and insecurity, but a major focus on education? It's desperately needed. A lot of people are saying, even these days, when you go to major platforms, the Kenyans, the Zimbabweans, the South Africans, the Rwandans, they're able to articulate themselves in such an amazing way. They're able to debate but still get along and do a friendly handshake. Now, especially social media, Nigerians, educated Nigerians, it's so toxic. We're not able to articulate ourselves. Education is almost at a crisis. How can what you're doing in Akwa Ibom be expanded and, reach the federal government level?
I think the first thing is the political awareness in Nigeria is huge. Okay. And not just the awareness, the investment. So there's something called footballification, which is the highest degree of subjectivity. So something is right or wrong depending on who is doing it. And so that is the problem that's the problem of the country. So if Olayinka is talking to me because Olayinka is mine, no, that's fine. If Olayinka is talking to another person, oh, that's not fine. No, so we must have principles. We must not make everything subjective to who does what. Let's look at, is this right or wrong?
Yeah.
And so by that, so if we divest politics from education, we divest politics from sports, we divest politics from economy. You see, because, if you just take politics away, the politicization of everything is what is Nigeria's problem. You see, in Akwa Ibom, what the governor has done, he has kept politics aside. Immediately after an election, politics is over. Yes, that is why he's able to relate with the Senate president. That's why he's able to relate with key
stakeholders.
Yeah, key stakeholders from the other parties. So the first thing was to submit his Arise agenda to debate. And he brought the opposition on board and said, look, these are the things I want to do.
Let's do it together.
Yeah, not let's do it together. Criticize it now. Because immediately this leaves this table, this would be the fulcrum of my administration.
Wow.
And the way that they criticize. So when we're executing, we have minimal opposition because already it was there on the table. It was open for everyone to talk about it. And so we are now doing an agenda that has been agreed to by Akwa Ibom people, not on the basis of politics. So if we extricate politics from the things we do, huge politics, when it's 2026, 2020, politics will come. But for now, we need to build a country.
I'm so excited. Like I said, I'm desperately disappointed that the children are not here, but I know they're busy.
Yeah, they're busy.
And I can tell from this discussion that they are being led by the best, which is absolutely amazing. But we are going to stick with this story. We want to see what they've done. Sure. And hopefully the next time you come into the studio, please do bring the best of the best with you so that we can talk to them about their experience.
The Nigerian High Commission would be hosting them too. Southern Council, the Commissioner for Education is also on this team. This chairman of the State Secondary Education Board is on the team. So I'm sure we'll send you the clips as they go through it.
That would be wonderful. Comrade Ini Ememebong, who is the Honourable Commissioner for Information at Akwa Ibom State. Thank you so much for your time and expertise.
Thank you so much
today.
Thank you.